This is day 2 of elementary school fire alarm system replacement, where we are replacing an Edwards 6500 conventional fire alarm system in this 1970s elementary school. If you're wanting to see the most detail and information on this job, make sure to watch the part 1 video, which was the day 1 of doing this system replacement. This is now going to be day 2, where we are going to start where we left off, where part of this project is replacing every single device like fire bells and the conventional pull stations, as well as changing out every other piece of conventional fire alarm equipment will be changed to addressable, because we are doing a full addressable swap at this elementary school, taking out the old conventional devices and the old Edwards 6500 conventional system and installing a Notifier NFS 320C, where we will be turning all of the old zones into isolated SLC data branches. But if you've seen part 1, you already know that, so we will continue on from here. Let's get into the video. Hey there guys, today is going to be day 2 of our fire alarm system replacement. I'm actually at a completely different school right now because we have to steal some parts for this one. This one is a middle school that we're doing an upgrade at later on, but we're short a few smoke detectors and horn strobes, so we're going to steal them from this one and use them at our current replacement. As I said, we're not doing anything to do with this replacement of this school. This is a whole different story that's going to be done later on. I just need some of the parts. I need 4 or 5 horns. We'll take 5. And I need some smokies, which are in here somewhere. Got a panel here, 640 I think, or no, it's a 320, bigger cabinet. FSP 951s. These are what we want. Don't need quite as many though. Going to change some end-of-line resistor plates. This is how we're looking in here. This is for all of our isolator modules. We might have to install an IC relay, maybe put on a short piece of DIN rail. Not sure what we're going to do exactly there for that. Going to change this fire bell and this end-of-line plate for our bell circuit. Going to change that to a new 2.2K and resistor plate. Try to do it with one hand.
Like even in that wall.
I'm going to set this one to low volume. It's in this little office corridor. Okay, now this end of line plate. So for our end of line plate here, we're taking our new plate. And we have to install our 2.2K resistor.
So that's kind of confusing for the bell fucking circuit.
What's that?
Picture I took yesterday. So the bell circuit, the black goes to the white and the red goes to the black.
Oh,
So that's going to kind of f us up, isn't it? Should I change that around, you think?
well, I mean, the bells worked before, and the bells would have been polarity sensitive before, so
Yeah.
I say we don't.
I guess when you take those off, you see which ones the red are, and you know which one's positive.
Yeah, so I'm just doing it the way it was before, because
Yeah.
it would have only worked one way before, too.
I'll splice it back together the way it was then, because I guess depending on which one's the first one from that, like it goes out this side, then comes back down and goes back out to the gym as well. It splits off a couple times, right? Goes out a couple different pipes.
Oh. Now this one, I'm definitely going to put at high volume because it's the only one, well, one of two in this whole corridor. I'll show you what I mean. From this set of fire doors, we have this device here, and then there's nothing for the whole hallway until one around that corner. I think I'm gonna back this up and do the gym here now. Old Durabell here with a cage that I don't quite know how it comes off. Is there a real big one of these that will work? Oh yeah, that's perfect. It's a tamper driver, so it's got a hole in the middle, but it should work. Okay, that actually holds the gong on too. Interesting. Guess that makes sense. No other way it would have held on from the middle. Mounted upside down. June 8th, 1977. I did not exist yet. I was still dead back then. Look at this mounting job. What is this? Alrighty, I'm not sure if we need this whole extension at all. Probably not. I don't think we do. Looks like it was extended when this sound deadening board was added. Our original box is way back in there. But I don't think I want the extension. Would have been needed before because the bell, it's kind of difficult to work with if your wires are short because you're trying to mount it onto the back. But our new device will just go onto the front. Okay, we'll make these a little straighter. We'll have to get cages to go over these. So I know from experience, if we put 2 of these at high volume in the small gym of this elementary school, it's got pretty good echo. I think that's going to be too loud and they're going to complain, especially since those bells weren't very loud. I think 2 at low volume would be too quiet. So I'm going to leave this one at high, and that one that's more in the corner, I'm going to put that one at low volume, I think. Haven't quite decided yet. We can always change them if we find it's too loud or too quiet. It's gonna go really slow on me if I try and take it around at full height. Oh, sh. Oopsies. Usually I don't try and do durability testing when I'm at work. Whoa. That messed her up good. Okay, apparently I pulled too far close. The pull station isn't a concern as it's getting replaced anyways, but that's why you always have to be careful of your surroundings and with the lifts, because you never know what sticks out that you can't tell it's actually going to go past something, because there's certain areas that can fit under, but then your extension or whatever will hit. So you just got to be careful of that sort of stuff. That was my bad. This one I did put on low volume. That one on high. It's just trying to balance it out where I think it should be loud because like it's a fire alarm, but then at the same time they'll call and complain saying that's hurting kids' ears, blah blah blah. So I'm just trying to find the balance of being loud enough that it's noticeable, but not ridiculously loud that's going to echo in this block gym too loud. Going to change these 2 here. During these little time-lapse scenes like this, I will try and do some voiceover to at least add some extra information, as there's no audio. I might as well be explaining something. We do have some very strange colors in this school. Like here we have yellow and blue, which we'll use blue as negative because when you have blues and reds and your regular colors, you use blue as negative. So there you can see me adding it to the map. Number 12. The bell circuits are much less bad as the polarity is not switched all the time. And the problem with the zones is the polarity didn't matter before. So there will be some strange switch ups done between devices where polarity will be switched randomly. So you can see here All of our devices are getting their addresses assigned. So like this one's full. These ones still have to go. You can see a lot of these are done, and then they're numbered on the room. This isn't a classroom here. This is one that actually has a exit. Most of them don't. I think this is the only classroom with one. There's a multi-purpose room, but this is the only normal classroom. So this pull station is going to be changed to an addressable pull, and this is our end of line plate for zone 1, which because we're making this addressable, it'll be on the SLC loop. That needs to come out, so I'm going to take that out, and that's the end of line. Put a blank plate on, put a pull station up. So yeah. So as I'm on the end of line topic, is what all needs to be done is the bell circuits still need end of line because we're not running addressable NACs. That's still conventional. So those need to be changed to the new 2.2K, which is spec for the notifier. And then our zones, which are now being turned into isolated data branches, those end of lines need to be removed because it's now addressable. This is going to be lucky 13. So we're starting to lay devices out in each room, just get them in place. So that's our below AC above the ceiling. So going around laying it out in every classroom and going to go around unlock all the doors. Same for the bases, which we have labeled. So I need 2, and this room we need 2 and 1. Across the road I need 3 and 4.
Right now, that's gonna keep.
Seven's in there, 8 there.
What happened to 6?
You have 6, I have 5 here.
Perfect. See? I think
6.
this is gonna flow tonight.
Yep.
And then
We're going to start doing detectors here. We have about 105 of these to do, I believe. I've got to head out to the module because right now we have 2 conventional zones going out, 1 for crawl space, 1 for the above. But all of our end of lines, including bell, all come back to 1 Hoffman box in there. So we are going to run just one SLC out. So we'll abandon 2 of the wires. We're only going to use one of the old zones, and then we'll splice it together where the end of lines come back to the Hoffman box, and we can make one big loop out there. That's basically what has to happen, as well as change all the devices to addressable. I'm going to put up the pull stations and horn strobe in this portable now, or module. So this is in the module here. We have 2 zones coming in from the old system in the school, as well as a bell circuit. So we're only going to need to use one of these zones to be our SLC coming out, and then it goes out into the field and comes back to the box. Instead of it going into an end of line, it'll splice back out onto the other zone, so that one SLC will cover this whole building, and then we'll still obviously have the bell circuit. So we'll need to change the bell end of line, and we'll need to remove both end of lines for the zones. This box will look more complicated than it actually is because there's also sprinkler in this building, but you can see the sprinkler isn't actually hooked up. These prefab buildings are just built with sprinkler, and the particular municipality I'm in right here does not require sprinklers in temporary buildings. This portable also doesn't have a blue strobe for building alarm location, for showing which building is in alarm. Some municipalities will require that. This one does not require that. Okay, we'll make this address 14. 1, 4.
How come your SLC doesn't get ULs on the end?
Well, think about what's the point of an end-of-line resistor? Are you quizzing me or are you asking? Well, what's the purpose of the end of line? It's to supervise it, and you're electronically supervised. So you're not. I thought you were just losing it again.
I was thinking of the best interest.
Old Jamie's losing his mind
I'm
again.
losing shit. I'm losing my mind. I've lost my little
Well,
screwdriver.
do you need these little morettes? Because I keep getting these little ones off these pulls.
I've lost my Marats. I've lost my little screwdriver, which I just used. Here it is.
There's one on the floor beside you too. Okay, this should be my last of these pull stations to install.
Yeah, and the new one should be in Wayne's van from the gym.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I didn't realize we had them here.
So he picked up a box from the shop, probably the smokes and the poles.
Okay. Yeah. We've got some different metal ones to go up. Some NMPS something. There's a C at the end of it for Canadian, I think, maybe. They're metal ones, and they are a little more tough to pull by accident because they're a pull out and pull down, not push in, pull down. That was a good save. I just opened this side door of the van and this happened, but I pushed the door shut. See what we got in here. Should be our metal. Oh, some Smokies. Well, that's not what I wanted. What the hell? It's not what I freaking wanted at all. And my pull stations for my gym aren't in there. So you got all your isolators over there? Yeah.
Well isolated.
Gotta keep them isolated.
Gotta keep
Looking pretty good.
Do that.
Well, what is it that we're pulling? Oh, that's the Annunciator?
Yeah. Could have left the wire in there. With PVC would go really fast.
Wait, there's so many holes in the MT.
Got it?
So our Annunciators here, we have an ACM 2480 as well as an LCD 280. You can see there's our ACM, there's our LCD 2, and those will go in this double enclosure. And then all of our isolators here, because we have one SLC and we're isolating each old conventional zone output. So if one shorts out, it doesn't take it out of your whole system. So it's like every existing zone we had before is now going to be an isolated branch of the SLC loop. We may have to stick a relay up here for door control because our old panel, the relays built into it were rated up to 5 amps at I think 250 volt AC, but this panel's relays are only rated for 2 amps at 30 volts DC. So significantly less capable relays. I'm pulling.
Are you on the phone?
Yeah, I was taking a video. I just set the phone down.
I can pull it.
No, how? Actually, now it is stuck. Oh, here we go.
Ski.
20 conductors in this fire alarm cable. Doesn't look like it, but there is 20 in there. That's what it says.
I'm doing those at the same time, but I can do them.
That one is for there. That one's for there. 1, 2. I think you get the idea. Spot laser in sucks. It's like over the lights and the ducts. The gym at this school, oddly, actually doesn't have many heat detectors at all, only having 4, which is significantly less than a lot of our gyms have. Sometimes 6, 8, 10. So 4 is very few for this one. Is that you, Stevie?
Sure.
Yeah, ground negative.
Ground negative, so we can figure it out. Yeah.
So if I meter negative to ground, then that's going to be my negative.
Yeah.
Okay. So as what was just said is negative would be grounded out at the panel. That way, whichever set of colors, we could meter them. And if we had continuity to ground, which you can see I'm checking there, we know that's the negative that it should be and not reverse because the colors in the school are problematic. Now you could also use a battery to apply voltage. You just have to be more careful of shorting. But either way, it's not a completely foolproof setup. You guys have suggested do that before, and the reason we can't always do it is if you have multiple people working on the loop and somebody else has the loop open, then you lose that continuity to ground or that voltage that's applied, whichever one you go by. So it's not perfect if someone else has the loop open. But if you're working in a zone by yourself and you're the only one that's got it open, in that case, it's not bad. Well, I'm going to start in the addition. That way I'm on a separate zone, so I'm not going to be messing with him seeing something open. Same with you. this little ceiling here is deceivingly high. If you're wondering why this one is a system sensor I3 detector, that's because I changed this one out a year or two back. Can't remember exactly when. I think I did have a video of it. I'm not sure if it's still up, but we had a false alarm go off during the school day once because the old detector went into alarm, and it looks like I put it right over top of the old base, which was weird. I'm not sure why I did that. I really have no idea. Maybe I wasn't the one who put it up. I think I was. Pretty sure I was, but if you really noticed, the colors were on the wrong terminals. At least you'd think they were, but the polarity was reversed, so that's apparently why I did that. But we're going to straighten out the whole zone now. Okay, so red and white are in fact the wrong color. I just metered it into ground. Red and white are negative, and blue and black are positive. So I just opened this pull station, and same thing, I checked to ground because they have what should be negative grounded out, and I've got red shorted to ground and black open. So it's probably this whole zone. So they are going to switch it around at their end, and I'm going to have to check every device. And if I got something backwards, switch it from there, because my colors were pretty straightforward for the pull stations I have done. So I think it's easiest to swap the zone around at their end. Okay, they've been switched around at this end, or I mean at the other end, so they're now blue and black is negative, white and red is positive, so that will fix this and that pull station, and assumingly the rest of the circuit, as it is, should be pretty straightforward. So not sure where it went wrong, but it did somewhere. Okay. Okay, so this is what I want to see. Continuity from negative to ground. All of our devices are placed around the school. We've got about 3 people going around doing devices. I'm doing all the hallway ones, but each classroom has 2 or 3 devices per room, so there's a lot to do. So I just wanted to zip through and get the hallway smokies done. And these ones I'm taking down are a little confusing. The way that the pigtails come off the back, they're actually probably the stupidest thing someone's ever came up with. The way that the colors are on the back of them, it makes no sense. But just take the pairs off in what you can tell is a pair, and then meter them to make sure you have your correct negative, and then you know your positive is good too in that case. As far as what devices are being changed to what, it's mostly a 1-for-1 replacement, but not completely. So anything in the corridors, whether it's already a smoke or a heat, which a lot of the hallway devices in the old section of the school were heats, anything in the corridor is getting changed to a smoke. Just like if the school had stairwells, we'd be changing anything to a stairwell, in a stairwell to a smoke.
Did you meter it before you took it apart? That's what I've been doing.
No, I've been checking after. I'm just thinking that's like the old Smokies. Maybe they didn't, but I think maybe they cared about polarity. So they probably would have wired it all up, put everything up, and then at the end said, these aren't working, switch polarity somewhere before all the smokes. I don't know, seems plausible to me. It's the only thing I can come up with for why it'd be so weird. And then as far as the classrooms all have heat detectors. Now for this replacement, any heat detector in a non-corridor space is being a 1-for-1 replacement to another heat detector. So any of your general rooms, offices, classrooms, and then as well as the devices above the ceiling, which that does include the hallway. The above ceiling devices will be changed will be kept a heat. They won't be changed to a smoke in the hallway if it is above the ceiling. And then our bells are a 1-for-1 replacement to our new horn strobes. I know I'll probably get asked, why aren't we installing those newer system sensor LED strobes? Well, the parts were ordered for this system months back before those were even out yet. And these L series xenon strobes are still completely compatible. The L series LED ones are designed to be compatible with these so that it doesn't hold you back from any future upgrades at all. So what's the problem that you're having here?
There's so many different colors here. Like that smoke detector's 2 whites are positive or negative, and that one, the 2 blacks are negative.
And you're trying to switch them around here?
Well, we're looking, trying to figure out what's wrong.
Which one did you have it on?
I had it on.
Total pain in the ass.
Careful with that.
This school is really turning into a nightmare as far as having to check your pairs and then check polarity for which is negative by metering it to ground, and things are swapped every little bit. And since we already put up pole stations prematurely, thinking, oh, maybe colors will be fine, of course it happened to be it isn't. Thought this school was going to be a decenter one, but this one is also now becoming the typical nightmare for colors being swapped back and forth. So this day may be a shorter one on camera because there's a lot going on behind the scenes of troubleshooting to try and figure out this nightmare. Alrighty there, guys, I'm just editing this one and I didn't record an outro, so I'm recording that now. That's going to be it for this day's video. We're still going to have some more days to come as far as this fire alarm replacement goes. We're not done yet, and I know these videos don't always show everything, so I'm sorry if some things are missed. It's just hard to balance filming a video. I try my best, but also get the job done and help coworkers out and do the replacement. So it's a balance, and some things get missed, so I tried my best here. But if you do have any comments, questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section. And if you do enjoy my videos, make sure to give them a like and subscribe. And if you are interested, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content posted before you'd see it on the YouTube channel, that sort of thing. Alrighty, guys, thanks for watching.